Hi, it's Pete with the Small Business Resource Center and the Small Business Resource Center YouTube channel. This is the third video, or I would have to say day 3, of Marshall Sylver's The Next Millionaire TV show. With this evaluation of my notes, I should say, I actually had jumbled everything together. So I'm only going to have 4 videos instead of 5. That's why I would recommend clicking on the link below to watch everything for free, because I'm condensing my notes into a very short video where you can actually get the whole experience for free. So if you're interested, check that link. But this is called, in my notes, how to sell what Marshall Sylver calls irresistible influence. So irresistible influence is the persuasion equation. And some of these things I would have to say is common sense. And Marshall also said he's surprised he has to say some of this, because the fact of what we do in sales a lot of times has to do with our appearance and charisma. It's very important. But some of the key points he touched on are very simple and basic. Like he said, always take a shower. Make sure you have clean fingers and nails and face. I'm not really picking on people, but I think often this might be more of a European thing. I've actually had a situation where family members had an Italian exchange student a couple years ago. Well, now it was over 10 probably. But a while ago, and they said these foreign exchange students would work all day or play soccer and then just get a rag, put it in the sink, get it wet, wipe their face, and then say, okay, let's go to dinner, where everyone else is taking a shower. But for them, that was part of their culture, and that's what they do. But when you're looking at American culture, one of the keys is if you smell all sweaty and a little bit like BO, you probably don't have as much as appealing aroma, or people may not want to talk to you as much. That goes for brushing teeth, mouthwash, chewing gum or something. But all those things have an influence of your charisma, according to Marshall Sylver. So they're important things to keep in mind. Your appearance does matter. How you dress does matter. So make sure you're wearing clean clothes, and typically the nicest clothes that you can when you're selling. That's what they say. Also, he goes over the persuasion equation. And these are 7 points to help people persuade people. And keep in mind, I condensed an hour worth of notes into probably 5 to 10 minutes. So I recommend the full video. But with the persuasion equation, he recommends having a good approach when you meet somebody. Obviously, a solid handshake. And he said often people have a handshake where they double handshake. And the main reason is because proximity and contact equals rapport building and trust. So mentally, people trust you more and they like you more when they have some type of contact. And that doesn't mean to get too touchy-feely or sniffy or whatever, but just have a normal sense of contact. Gain rapport, engage with a person. And when you're talking to them, you got to realize that this is not about you all the time. You don't want to keep talking about you and what you're doing. It's always a good idea to ask people what they're doing when you're rapport building, because people do like to talk to themselves, usually more than they like you to listen and talk about yourself. I'm rambling. More than they like to listen to you talk about yourself. Also, he said, expect an outcome. So whenever you are doing anything, come into the event or the meeting expecting the outcome that you want and envisioning it. Make it happen. So create the framework for this event and then follow that framework and hopefully get it to where you want to be, which more than likely is a sale. Give a directive. So you want to have a directive on what you're expecting and what you're doing, and basically get to that path. You also want to play with resistance. So when you're playing with resistance, that basically is kind of like a takeaway. So if people are saying, oh, I'm not really sure, you can say, okay, well, if you don't really like that, maybe I can help you find something a little bit cheaper. And often they're going to say, well, I don't want something cheaper. And that happens in real estate too. People are looking at homes and they're like, well, I don't want to spend $300,000 on a home. And we're like, okay, great. Let's look at the $250,000 houses. And then they're like, well, I don't want one of those. Well, now we've got these $300,000 homes. And they realize the payment's not that much different and they'll go for it anyways. But sometimes when people are thinking about the budget, they don't always want to jump up and down and pay for it. Minus the fact that rental prices are so high, so it's making it easier to sell houses. Also, you can give the directive in a new way. That means, not being so direct and trying to sell to them and going back to resistance and then re-pitching the sale. So that can be done in a lot of different ways when you're talking about irresistible influence or selling. Often when I sell things to people, I don't just say, hey, do you want to buy the house? It's pretty direct and it sounds rude, but you can say, hey, do you picture yourself living here? Okay, great, yes. Let me get the paperwork ready. When you say things in a different way, it doesn't sound as harsh. I actually got that from another book too, but we'll go with that. I actually have a coaching program on how to sell real estate, which I'm going to be launching very soon, and also my book's going to be out very soon. So shameless self-promotion, but what I do recommend is looking at Marshall Sylver's The Next Millionaire TV show. You can sign up for the free coaching and maybe get a chance to be on the TV show. So check it out. Links are below. And subscribe to my channel for every update on business, finance, and health and personal development. Thank you very much. Have a great day.